In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the backing shields on the front of this Dodge Ram 2500. To do this, you do have to pull the brakes and the wheel hub bearing off, so let's get started. Use a 24mm socket and remove all 8 of your lug nuts. If your vehicle has a cover here, well, you're going to want to pull that off first. Mine does not, so I'm just going to remove all these and then take the wheel off. With an 18mm socket, I'm going to remove the 2 caliper and bracket assembly bolts that hold it onto the front axle, and I'll put the whole assembly aside. No need to separate anything. These can be fairly tight. Might have to break them free by hand first. If that's the case, grab yourself a breaker bar. There we go. Now you should be able to remove these bolts. There's one. Leave this in a couple threads so it can hold the caliper while you remove the lower one. Take this out. Take that other bolt out, set it aside, and at this point you should be able to remove the caliper, bracket, and pads off of the rotor. I'm going to set it right up here and bungee cord it so that it's out of my way. I do not want to put any pressure on the brake hose. If you pull on this, it will get damaged. I'm going to use the bungee cord and tie the caliper up just so that it doesn't fall off. There we go. Now you can remove your rotor. If it's stuck on from rust buildup, you can either hit the backside or just hit it right in between the lug studs. That should break it free. The axle nut will have a cotter pin going through it. You're going to want to get that straightened out. And then, hopefully yours isn't seized and stuck in there. Pull it out of the axle. Usually if you just use some side cutters, it's very good at grabbing onto it. You could just cut it off, but sometimes it's easier to remove it in one piece. And do not reuse these, always use a new one. Now you're going to need a 1 11/16 socket, and with that you should be able to remove the axle nut. It shouldn't be extremely tight, but still having a power tool does make things easier. Okay, take it off. There is also a washer here, remove that as well. Usually there is supposed to be some sort of bracket here that holds the ABS wire. Mine's missing, so I'm going to move along. We have to unclip it off of all of the other retainers. Some are along the brake hose, and all you have to do for these is just pull them out. That one already came out, just like so. Follow it up. There's one right behind this control arm that's hiding. They all look the same. This right here looks like it has a push clip style retainer that has the slide out. So I'm going to use a trim tool for that one. Oh, okay, that wire tie broke, but I will be removing this to replace it with a new one. There's that. And if you follow it up a little bit more, you'll see the electrical connector for it. It has a push clip here, so if you stick your trim tool and pull it through, you'll be able to pull it down to access the connector. The tab that locks it in is on this side here, so press it, wiggle it, and remove the ABS sensor wire. Pull it through all the way so that you can have it wrapped up around the wheel bearing. It is a fairly long wire. You don't want it to get tangled up while you're working. So I just like to set it over here. With an 18mm socket, if you turn the knuckle, you should be able to access these bolts. There are 2 on this side and 2 on the other side. They basically form a square. Having said that, remove all 4. My bolt up top here was actually somewhat rounded, so I had to put an extractor socket on it. Hopefully yours is not like that. Obviously, if you have any bolts that are damaged like this, or whether they're completely rotted, on the threads, replace them, and make sure you replace them with a proper grade bolt, just like the manufacturer intended for this bolt to be. Otherwise, it could cause issues. And that's exactly what I'm going to do with this one. Once I remove it, I'm going to discard it and get a new one. Having said that, the other ones should be a little bit easier to remove with a regular socket. There it is. Same on the bottom, 18mm socket. Same on the other side, 18mm socket. Because the tie rod's in the way, you might need a swivel for this. There's one. And let's get the bottom out. There's the bottom. Now you're going to want to take a hammer and tap the wheel bearing side to side. At the same time, make sure the axle separates from the hub itself, so you might have to tap this in as the wheel bearing comes out. It's already separating on this side. I'm going to use an air chisel and go around the base of this wheel bearing. It's starting to separate, it's just fairly stuck. So I'm going to use this to not only push it off, but the vibrations from it should help break the rust free. Okay, push the axle through. There it is. And just so you can see what I did, I went with the chisel bit on this side and that side, moved it back and forth, and then popped it right out. If you still have a backing shield, at this point it would come off with the wheel bearing. You're going to want to clean the knuckle where the bearing mounts, inside, outside. Mine is rusty, but really it's not rotted. It doesn't have chunks of rust built up. So I'm just going to take a wire wheel on a drill and just clean up around it, mostly so that the bearing can mount nice and flush and not sit kind of at an angle if it doesn't seat on all the way. Now that it's all cleaned up, doesn't have to look perfect, just has to be nice and flat. Rinse it down with brake parts cleaner. Once it dries, I'm going to put some anti-seize on it so it doesn't corrode in the future. Apply a thin coat all the way around on the outside as well as on the inside, as well as on the splines of the axle. There we go. If you put too much, it'll just squeeze out when you put the wheel bearing on. It's going to make a mess. Now to reinstall, I'm going to put the ABS wire through the backing shield and make sure it's facing with that cutout at the top. Careful of your ABS wire. Try to hook it onto one of these studs. Slide everything together onto the axle. Once you get it on the axle, it's not going to fall off. It'll support it, but you got to push it up and into the knuckle, and you can get this wire out of the way now, and you will be able to turn everything to line up the bolt holes, which obviously has to be done. So at this point, I think it's pretty much lined up. So let's go behind it, stick all the bolts in, and gonna make sure they all start before any get tightened. Slide in one of the bolts, whatever lines up first. Might have to move the backing shield as well as the wheel bearing around to get the threads lined up. Once they line up, if you cleaned up your threads, if they were rusty, it should thread on nice and smooth, which is the case for me. I'm pretty much just bringing it in all the way by hand, which is great. Do the same to all of them. I like to have them all started and close to being bottomed out before I tighten them, just in case this has to move around, because if you tighten one, you can't move it anymore. There we go. Let's move to the other side. On the other side, slide in your bolts. That one's in, and the bottom one. All right, let's tighten these up. With the bottom on the other side tight, let's do the top on this side, going in a cross pattern. And then bottom on this side. Then we'll move to the top on the other side. Let's finish tightening this top one on the other side. Now we can torque them all. 149 foot-pounds is the torque. That's one. Okay, that's the second one. Let's move to the other side and torque the other two. That's one. And two. Let's resecure the ABS wire. I'm going to start on the second clip. The first one is a little too far away from me now, so once I put the caliper back, I will reattach it. Just follow it along, and every little rubber piece here should line up with a clip that it secures in. So I'll just press it in. This one's hiding behind this control arm. Pull it up, the ABS sensor. This has a new clip on it, new retainer, so press that into its mounting location, right by the brake hose, the brake line. And then this gets clipped into the electrical connector. Make sure you have it the right way. Click it. Once it clicks, lock it in and secure it here. If you want to use a wire tie on this, go ahead, but if you just tuck it behind the fender liner here like that, it shouldn't go anywhere. Install the washer that goes over the axle nut and reinstall the axle nut. Let's tighten it up. I'm not using my impact to do the final tightening, I'm just using it to get it close. That stopped spinning, so let's grab the torque wrench. To torque this, the torque is 263 foot-pounds. I have a pry bar going through the lug studs here to hold this from spinning, so I can actually torque it, and my torque wrench on the axle nut. That's it right there. Install a new cotter pin. Don't reuse your old one. If your axle nut, after you torqued it, doesn't line up with the cotter pin slot, continue tightening. Never loosen. Mine actually lines up, so I'm going to grab this, bend it over. There we go. Let's coat the hub in a thin layer of anti-seize to prevent this from rusting in the future, especially once the rotor goes on here and it stays here for an extended period of time. Avoid the lug studs if you can. If you get any anti-seize on them, just wipe it off. Let's install the rotor. I'm using a new one. If you're using your old one, you might have to clean up inside here where it mounts on the hub. Sometimes they get rusty, sometimes they're good to reuse. Having said that, press it on, and to avoid it falling off like this, I'm going to use a lug nut and thread it on all the way. This is going to hold the rotor in place so it doesn't keep flopping around as I install the caliper. Now let's get the caliper back on. Remove your support, whatever you had here. Take the caliper, flip it over, and bring it right over the rotor. Make sure the pads fit on here. Might have to wiggle it to get it to line up. Once you line it up, have at least one bolt ready to start onto the threads here so that you can let go of the caliper. This one's started on. Start on the bottom. Might have to move it around a little to find those threads. Let's snug it up. And the top. The torque for these is 250 foot-pounds. That's torqued. The ABS sensor wire has this rubber piece here, so if you had the bracket that goes with it, of course, clip it on. If not, just make sure it's going to be out of the way of everything, which it is for me, especially since it's behind the backing shield here. It should be good, but obviously, if it has the bracket, clip it back on. At this point, you can remove this lug nut that you put on for safety. And let's get the wheel on. Press it on all the way. Install all 8 of your lug nuts in a cross pattern, bottom them out, and then also in a cross pattern, torque them to 140 foot-pounds. Let's torque these lug nuts to 140 foot-pounds in a cross pattern. Double check them if you want. At this point, if your wheel had the lug nut cover, snap it back on. It just clips on. If not, there you have it.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.